Hello and welcome to the 7th episode of the Corny universe. In the previous episode, we discussed how humans misinterpret most events that happen in their reality. In this episode, we will look into the war between Russia and Ukraine. Imagine if every human is but a cell inside a giant collective organism, and that there is a higher form of intelligence which manifests various events to guide humanity to evolve into behaving like cells in such a global collective organism. That being would look at humanity today and would identify key areas which require humans to evolve. Since your outer reality is but a projection of your inner experience inside your own mother's womb, towards the end of pregnancy, the placenta has reached the limits of what it can do to continue supplying the baby with resources. At that point, it is high time for the baby to switch from being dependent on the placenta and start becoming more autonomous. That story is then transposed onto your outer reality. Your governments, economic elites, centralized financial institutions, and energy production companies unconsciously play the role of the placenta. They are like a centralized organism which serves as the intermediary between the mother's resources, the resources of this planet, and the baby and its cells, the human population. The separation between the placenta and the baby upon birth is an event which humans have replicated at all levels of their reality. When a young adult leaves his parents' home and starts earning his own money and living by him or herself, that represents a cutting of the umbilical cord at a higher level, where the young adult is no longer dependent on his parents' resources. At a higher level still, humanity has gone through several important transitions. For instance, the move from monarchies by divine right to democracies represents the transition from childhood to adolescence. For children, their parents are like gods or kings. They have all the power and can arbitrarily make decisions which affect their children. For a teenager, his parents suddenly become old farts which they happily criticize, but they are unwilling or unable to take responsibility just yet. They just like to complain. The teenager stage of humanity is represented by our current representative democracies. Today, citizens no longer worship their governments and various centralized actors holding power. They are always complaining about their governments and elected officials. The transition from adolescence into adulthood is when a child is ready to leave the parents' nest. That is the stage humanity has reached. And the war between Russia and Ukraine is like a gentle push for humanity to leave its nest. In the next episode, we'll see what such a transition is supposed to look like. In the meantime, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And Corny will help you make sense of this whole mess in the next episode.